All right. So for the person who's out there considering going to InvestFest, you may have seen some of the content from previous years and you're still trying to determine whether or not you want to make the investment to go. This one's for you. So I recently went to InvestFest for the first time this weekend, and you know, it was a lot. I would say like it was definitely a lot, and let's kind of unpack that a little bit. So the number one thing that I liked about InvestFest overall was the energy in the building. It's rare that you're in an environment where you have 30,000 plus people who are all interested in entrepreneurship and or have the entrepreneurship spirit in general. And although people may be at different stages in their entrepreneurship journey, that was like the common thread amongst all the people there. They want more for themselves, beyond just what a job can offer. Like, these people are interested in entrepreneurship and being their own boss, and in whatever form or fashion or in whatever area they want to be. But just being in that environment alone, it can't be duplicated anywhere else. At least I've never experienced something like that, especially for people who look like me being in one environment. And others as well. It wasn't just people who look like me either. So that was pretty cool. I also appreciated the speakers. There were various speakers who talked on a lot of different topics, and what I kind of did was I took notes more on how people were doing their presentations. So I went to the event to get an understanding of how EYL runs an event of such magnitude, but it's also, as a speaker myself, it's always good to take notes from other speakers and how they execute their messages. So, at the stage where I am at in my entrepreneurship journey, not every presentation and or talk got into the details that I desire. But for the person who's out there who's maybe just, getting started on their journey, or, maybe they don't have the information and or they just want to be in that environment to increase their awareness of things to even consider when thinking about financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and all that. I think the presentations were more aimed for that, like, one-on-one level kind of participant or audience member. Where I'm at in my journey, like I said, a little bit farther, so I didn't really get much from the content itself of the presentation. So that's why I focused on like the speakers and how they executed their messages, and that's where I got my most value. And yes, presentation slides are gonna have facts and stuff, but there's little things and or nuggets of information that these speakers might have said that may have like was either a reminder for me, whether it was like believing in yourself, or it's one thing to have faith, but if you don't have the self belief and the faith, like, that's kind of where you need to kind of improve, And I kind of struggle sometimes with like believing in myself. Sometimes it can be a little wary. So, just getting those reminders, being reminded that, like, hey, like, I'm not the only one on the journey, and you know, there's so much more in store for me if I just keep on pushing, overall. So that was a big takeaway, just taking notes of the speakers and how they executed their messages. It's also very cool just to like be around different celebrities or not. So 50 Cent was cool, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, of course, the EYL guys. Like so many more, Damon John, there's so many people, like there's so much people to talk on. And so it was really cool just to like be around that energy, it's, I've always dreamed of kind of being in a room with Damon John. He's on Shark Tank, major VC investor. And overall, just to hear him speak how he thinks about business is like, no, it's not something I can like immediately take and put into action, but it's all about like the mindset that he has. And a lot of the speakers spoke on the mindset, which in reality, like in my opinion, that's the most important part, in entrepreneurship is your mindset, how you approach doing it. So that was really good just to get those reminders, those nuggets of information. overall. Now, wherever there's pros, there's definitely going to be some cons. And, this isn't necessarily a jab at EYL or how they ran InvestFest. As a PM, we often do something called a retrospective where, hey, we after we got something done, we look back and see how, we can improve it. So, areas of improvement for this festival overall, one thing I would say is like the organization of the schedule. I think they make an attempt to kind of have a lot of information, a lot of presentations, and unfortunately, sometimes things go long. Like some presentations went longer than expected, so it kind of throws off the overall schedule that they outlined or the run of show that they outlined. So, you may think you want to get to a talk at 12:45, and because the previous talk carried over, that talk that you wanted to go to may start at 1:15 or 1:30. So I would say like they have some, maybe an opportunity to kind of work on like, okay, if things go off schedule, how are we like in real time updating the schedule of the other presentations and or showing that on the app that they've developed. So it was really cool that they even had like a app, so you didn't have to keep checking the Instagram page to look at the runner show post. So they had an app. However, it wasn't updating. It wasn't like updating in real time or letting us know like, oh, this presentation's carrying over, so this next one's gonna start at X time. So, I think that would be a really cool ad there. Also, just providing a little bit more details on like what the context of each presentation was going to look like. I did find myself going to presentations where I thought the conversation would have went one way, however, it was like a different kind of area or different focus on the same umbrella topic it was about. So that would have helped me as far as like my scheduling and just kind of, I know the information that I'm looking for, so help me. Like, I don't want to waste time going to a presentation where they're not even going to touch on the information that I'm looking for, So that's one little nugget of advice I would change or try to implement in next year's or years coming InvestFest. Another thing for me, and this is like I said, this is just my opinion. I do think there should be some type of dress code. We're in Atlanta, and folks are very expressive in Atlanta, but I don't think InvestFest is that place to be that expressive. Like we're not in a club right now. This is supposed to be a professional setting, and I'm not saying folks gotta be like businessed out, but I think like at minimum a smart casual type of attire should be like required to come into the building and or participate in the events. Like just from what I saw, folks got the chains, folks is flexing a little bit. And I'm not really a flexy type. And I do think it can be distracting overall for the environment. Now, if being that flexy type is part of your personal brand and that's how you market your business, by all means, but in my opinion, I do think it should be more of it should keep the aura of a professional environment, not just a business, semi-fake business meetup. We're gonna act like we doing, but we really just in here mingling like this was brunch or something. And that's just me, of course I'm not sure if I'm not sure what what they intend on, however, people gonna come as they are. And I respect like you're coming for business and you really don't need to be in business attire to talk business. I get it. But like it just would help overall with just, I would say, the professionalism of the entire event, if I feel like people put that effort into coming. Like I said, smart casual would be the level of presentable I think is appropriate for this event. Take it or not. If you feel some other way, you have a right to your own opinion. But that's just me. I think it could have been done differently, and that's that. Now, general admission versus VIP. Now, thanks to my brother Paul, unfortunately he wasn't able to make it to InvestFest, so he ended up transferring the tickets to me, and they were general admission tickets. So being that this was my first time going to this event, I was completely fine with just getting general admission just to get the sense of what's going on. I did have friends, however, who were in the VIP, who did get a VIP ticket and got the chance to have that experience as a VIP attendee. And at least from his perspective, he knew what he was coming to the convention for. And just to give you context on like this man, he's into real estate. He has about 150 units here in Atlanta. So that just gives you a scale of like he's way farther on his entrepreneurship journey than just say like myself. We have like 3 properties right now. But long story short, like he's going there not necessarily to take in information, but more connect with people. So if you're in VIP, we all spent 2K plus, and there's different other tiers as well. However, they're within vicinity of each other. So his whole thing was like, I'm paying for the access to the people who also paid like this amount of money to be a VIP, which is an indicator of like status in a way, and then potential like partnership opportunities. So he went there to figure out, hey, I have an issue in my business. How can I help you? And or figure out people who can help him and or partner with him on future investments. Another way of networking versus like people just connecting, trying to show awareness of their business, get their name out, learn about how to get started and or grow or scale within their business. Like 2 completely different perspectives on the event and or the purpose of attending the event. So that was cool. I think his main takeaway was like the VIP night, that like natural out of the convention center ability to kind of network with folks. That was like the main, he met the most people he did that night, and he also had made the most connections on that VIP night. So, you just need to consider and be clear with what is the reason you're going to this convention, and once you're clear with that, that'll kind of determine or let you know what you want to be doing there, the level of ticket you want to buy, and whatnot. I'm thinking about now the vendor marketplace, which was like another area at this convention. And that is also like, I really think that was a really cool experience just to see people advocating for their business. There was people, shooting YouTube videos where other content creators were there as well. So just seeing people kind of do their thing and kind of make the effort to bring awareness to their businesses was a really cool thing to be part of. And as a note for myself and my wife, we were like, yeah, like we may consider getting a booth next year because we run a consulting studio. And yes, it's an online business. However, it's like it's always good to just have customer to customer touch points. So we think it would be a good opportunity to bring brand awareness to the lawn group by, having a booth there, and something to consider. We have some time to think about it and kind of plan out what we'll do. But I definitely think that was really cool and eye-opening to see like people, making that investment in their brand to bring that awareness there. And that was cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I touch on. As far as like another opportunity for improvement, so it was a lot of, like I said, information. We're giving you the knowledge, however, I felt like some people were kind of left with like, what next? You just told me all about investing. Well, the benefits, why I should be doing it. I get it. I get the fact that I should be investing. How now? So I thought it would be really cool. So maybe an idea for next year is like, okay, we just left this presentation all about investing. I did see Fidelity there. However, it would have been cool, like, okay, you just left this investing session. Now go to the Fidelity booth, and they're actually helping people set up their brokerage accounts and or funding their accounts. So given that this was on the weekend, it wouldn't have been possible for someone to set up an account, fund their account, and purchase a stock because the markets are closed. However, it's the start of the new week. If someone was able to get their account open and funded by sometime this week, they should have been able to invest in their first stock or buy their first or however amount of stock. So I think little activations like that are like helping people get over that hump individually would have been cool. And I think Fidelity and creating a brokerage account is like a simple small win. And like I said, people are going there for so many different reasons. So I can understand where it's kind of hard, where you can't have something for everyone. However, just some feedback, something to maybe consider next year, and or maybe do polls over the course of the year to figure out what are people most interested in and how we can cater to each individual, and their layer and or stage within entrepreneurship. So yeah, overall, like generally overall, I think it was a great event, and I'd highly recommend anybody go. I think it's you you're not finding it anywhere, like that energy, those people. People are getting consulting services for free, trademarking services for free. Like Pinky was able to give those things out during her session, and you really are seeing people pitch their businesses and like win rewards, consulting, tax services, so many different things. That's you know, like it costs money to have those things. So it's like to get those for free is a win in itself. So it's like if you paid for a general admission ticket and left with 15 days of consulting from Pinky or Shaquana or so many different folks, like that would have been so much worth it. And it's just like you just never know who you can meet or what you can do. Like my purpose of even going to this event, or another thing I wanted to do while I was there, was like increase my subscribers. Like I was letting people know about what I'm doing, what I do today, what I plan on doing, and the purpose of this channel and the audience that I'm building, and essentially getting people. So my goal was to get to 100 subscribers. I was at 67 when we got there. At the end of the event, I only had 84. Thankfully, I had like another event I went to, and I'm at like 94 right now. So hopefully with this video, you can get me over that 100 mark. And that would be a good or a big milestone for this community and this channel. So, but overall, earn your leisure, invest fast, go to it. I think it's up to you to kind of decide and understand your purpose of going to the event, and then decide what level of ticket you want to get. If it's your first time, get that general admission just to see how it is for the first year. If you are, you know what you want, you understand the details, you're ready to make high value connections, get that VIP, get that executive if you can. I think at least for me, I'm considering a booth next year and a VIP ticket for my wife and I. I just want a different level of conversation with regards to the people I talk to. I was doing a lot of pouring in to people, and I would appreciate just getting, some reciprocated. So I think like putting myself in that different environment with a different set of folks would potentially lead to better conversations for me, or more impactful conversations for me in my entrepreneurship situation. So yeah, I'll kind of wrap this up here. Overall, EYL completely respect the initiative and what you guys are doing for our community and beyond. This is still very early in the stages. This is only year 4 of doing this. Imagine when we get to like 10th annual, 20th annual, 25th annual, if they continue to do it. And I think they should. I think Atlanta's a good hub, a nice spot to do it. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get more people going to InvestFest. It would be cool to see 30,000 turn into 50,000. However, how they go with organizing the event, I think they have some opportunity improvement there, but they still executed very well this year. There's gonna be hiccups in any event ran, but how they were able to handle it and kind of keep the run of show flowing. I don't think people were like too disturbed. There was always something you could be doing. There was always someone you could be talking to. And it's all about how you leverage it. Like, one side note, I think it's also good practice to, what I appreciate was my practice getting to network. So I can be a little introvert at times, especially when meeting new people. And, the desire to increase my subscriber count forced me to like talk to people, and the easiest way I did it was just like, hey, what brings you to InvestFest? And people get to talk, and like what their business is, what they're doing, then they ask you, hey, what you're doing. And that was my opportunity to like share my whole purpose, So met a lot of good people, and I will definitely be following up with a lot of good people as well. So it'll be cool to like nurture these relationships and then see where they go. You never know. I didn't have these connections that I made before I went there, so I'm definitely appreciative of having those connections, but I'm more appreciative of who I've become as a result of going to this event. I'm not as scared, even in like 2 days after, I'm not as scared just to walk up to somebody and just, hey, my name's Savion, what's your name? And just kick off conversation. And I think the key to networking was like trying to find like a mutual benefit between the two, and also just not being scared. That first day, Saturday, I was a little like timid, I didn't really do much talking, but Sunday I went in there like ready to go, So overall, had a really good time, and I highly recommend that you go to InvestFest next year. And let me know what you think. What were your thoughts? If you're considering going or not, drop it down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. So thank you so much again. My name's Savion, right? This channel, we usually talk about PM career and PM career strategy. However, I just felt like, my experience at VestFest was worth sharing. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on this, and looking forward to going to other conventions and sharing them as well. And go to InvestFest, go check out other conventions, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.